Shalom. First off, I want to start up by saying all praises, honor, and glory is due unto Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakadash. It's all praises to the world calls God, whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh by Hashem, in the name of Yahweh Shai being the name of the only begotten Son. Also want to say double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and mercy to those for preaching His word in truth and sincerity. I'm the brother Tazabah in the Great Millstone, Arizona camp, Lord will, with another video to edify. And man, all right, prophecy is kicking off, prophecy is moving forward, and the conflict that's happening in these African nations, right, the so-called African nations, are starting to have real consequences, right? Russia's been a major player. He's been forgiven. They forgive, like, I believe it was $23 billion worth of African debt, and promised grain deals, right, with free delivery, right? So the result of that are these nations are getting bold enough to go against the beast, right? That's what's happening. All right, so I'm gonna play this, get some precepts, and Lord will this be edifying. I got a few clips to play.
Anger on the streets of Niamey as the sanctions hit home. The eruption of rage is largely focused on the international community.
People are coming, the people are coming, and we are going to demonstrate to all the ECOWAS countries and all those who are taking unpopular and inhuman measures against Niger, which is in the process of freeing itself from the yoke of colonization.
You see? And that's what they're doing. Now, the colonization that they're talking about is the French occupation. France has for years,
we have gold,
right? France has subsidized the entire country and made them pay tribute for years, and now France has set themselves up to what? Get 70% of their nuclear resources that they need for nuclear power from Africa, and now all these African nations are revolting and going against that colonization. Right? And the scriptures tell you, let me get this, I gotta break it for a scripture. It says, this is, where is it? I think it's in Sirach. Yeah, here it is. Sirach 5:8. It says, set not thy heart upon goods unjustly gotten, for they shall not profit thee in the day of calamity. And that's what Esau's starting to get. Right? Remember, the scriptures tell you he didn't consider the latter end of these things. So he's now coming to this realization. Like, damn. You see that he's propped up himself to sit and take everybody's resources, and now all these countries are bucking up against him. Everywhere that they got the resources. And this is the same situation that's going on with the U.S. And Russia's a big part of why these nations are getting so bold. It says, let the weak say, I'm strong. And that union that they have with Russia is making the weak say they're strong. So I'm going to play this other one.
And now let's turn our attention to the West African nation of Niger. The coup leaders are still in power, for now at least. They've been issued an ultimatum by a bloc of West African countries. These countries have said that Niger's military junta must restore the presidency of the ousted leader, Mohamed Bazoum. Either that or risk a military intervention. These countries will intervene militarily. That's what they've said. The deadline they've said set is of Sunday. But it seems that the junta has no intention of stepping down. They're already issuing decrees and scrapping decade-old agreements. The target of their ire seems to be France. France once colonized Niger. There's been an outpouring of anger against France recently. Supporters of the coup have blamed France for the poor conditions in their country. And it's likely that the junta will continue to paint Paris as the villain, which throws up the question, what happens to France's interests in this country, in Niger, especially its supply of uranium to power its nuclear reactors? You see, France relies on nuclear power for 70% of its electricity production, and Niger is one of its biggest suppliers of this nuclear fuel. So,
you see? And now all these nations are getting ready to kick him out. And what is France's response? Paris refuses to withdraw its troops from Niger. And a lot of these, they in Western media, they're trying to damper the fact that these African nations really don't want fucking France or any of these foreign powers in their land. They're already sitting there saying, "Yo, they agree with Russia." There was reports and videos of them sitting there raising Russian flags because how Russia's fucking with them and the rest of the world isn't. Right? It says France has, instead of fulfilling 5 military cooperation agreements with Niger, because the accords were signed with the West African states, legitimate authorities, despite the former colonies' newly installed junta calling for the deals to be revoked. And why? Because all those people that signed those deals were plants that these Edomites put there to do what they wanted. It says France recalls that the legal framework for the cooperation with Niger in the area of defense is based on agreements that have been concluded with the legitimate Niger authorities. Read a Friday statement from the French foreign minister. These are the only ones that France and the entire international community recognizes. Basically, they're saying if they're dealing business with us, those are the ones we want to recognize. But the people are revolting. You're seeing it, right? And this is all prophecy. This is Matthew 24:6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. And that's exactly what's happening. You're starting to see the wars and rumors of wars gear up. The Lord is doing his work. Right? We got this other precept. This is I'll get to 2nd Ezra 11. Second Ezra 11:40. Now this is going into the installation of the Roman Empire, right? But what? We're in the revised Roman Empire, so these things still stand. It says, "And the 4th came and overcame all the beasts that were past, and had power over the world with great fearfulness, and over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression." Right? And that's what's happened. These nations are taking note of the much wicked oppression, and now they're revolting. These things are going to happen. The scriptures tell you in the book of Job, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Right? And these are the straits, the revolt from all these nations coming against this Edomite power structure. Right? In so long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit. For the earth hast thou not judged with truth. For thou hast afflicted the meek, thou hast hurt the peaceable, thou hast loved liars. Right? The meek and the peaceable are the Israelites. Right? The liars are all these other Edomite countries and nations. Right? And destroyed the dwellings of them that brought forth fruit, and has cast down the walls of such as did thee no harm. Right? Talking about the Israelites, right? Now let me go to this other scripture. I want to make this long. Job 18. Job 18 and 16. And jump down. Job 18 and 16. His root shall be dried up. Right? Beneath them and above shall his branch be cut off. This is going into his destruction. I'm going to jump down to verse. I'll just keep reading. His remembrance shall perish from the earth, and he shall have no name in the street. He shall be driven from light into darkness and chased out of the world. And that's what the Lord's doing on a level right now. He's being chased out of the world. Every nation that these devils are in right now, everybody's doing active duty to get them the fuck out of there. Right? And it's only going to be even more intense when that destruction comes. Because these nations are going to be taught, yeah, this devil was a demon the whole time. They're going to be given a green light by who? The Israelites, to put them in hell even while they're in hell. This is Job, or not Job, but Obadiah 1 and 2. It says, "Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised." And this is talking about the Edomites, because you can read that in the first verse. And that's what's happening. He's being greatly despised to the point where all these nations are willing to work with another Edomite to get him out of it. And Russia's doing him a fair fucking shake. It says, "The pride of thy heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down?" And these nations are really acting like that. France really thinks they're with that shit. But mind you, Russia's in the mix. So everything's pointing towards this World War III getting kicked off. Everything. This is beautiful prophecies come to pass. This Habakkuk 2. I ended on this, man. Habakkuk 2. And 5, it says, yeah, because he transgressed by wine, he's a proud man, neither keepeth at home. You saw that they're over there getting 70% of their uranium. And why the hell is their fucking uranium all coming from Africa, but somehow these nations that it's coming from are fucking poverty? Because he's transgressing by wine, he's a proud man, he doesn't keep at home, who enlarges his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gather unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not him, that is not his. How long? And to him that laded himself with thick clay. This is what's happening. These nations are all saying these things right now. Right? These devils are starting to get their just fruits, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful, man. Prophecies are coming to pass. They're getting ready to fucking light this world on fire, man. The amount of upheaval, the amount of riots that are going to come, it's only a matter of time, man. But Lord willing, this is edifying. I'm going to say, call law. Yahweh Bashim Shai, Bashim Rakakadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom.